Hi, it's Jochen, the online agent, and in this section we're going to talk about the initial follow-up. So the first follow-up after you targeted your client, as I have shown you in previous modules. Very important is research and statistics have shown that if you call your client compared to just sending a WhatsApp message or an email or other forms of electronic communication, whatever they are, Viber, Messenger, etc. You call them, you talk to them, you build a bit of rapport, you're 7 times more likely to get the sale. Maybe not on the first point of contact, as I said, or the second, but eventually. Right? So important, give them a call first. After that, if then you need to send them information, the floor plans, the e-brochure, or whatever else it might be, pictures. For those, of course, you can use email, WhatsApp, other electronic means then, obviously, since you can't convey those per voice, but only after you talk to them and after you have get the agreement to send it to them and you have built a bit of rapport over it. So how to do this follow-up? Just a couple of tips from my end, from my years of experience in the field, how you should follow up. This is a non-exhaustive list and you can do differently. Of course, you don't have to agree with me, but if you want to take note of this is it. Once you receive the lead, as on Facebook or Google, don't immediately call them, but don't wait too long either. If you call immediately, like 10 seconds later, it kind of sounds desperate. If you wait too long, maybe they call another agent. But 10, 15 minutes or 20 minutes, that's fine. Not later than 4 hours later, unless it comes in at night. Some clients, sometimes I receive leads at 1 a.m. Obviously, I can't call them at 1 a.m. at night. So in that case, the next morning will do. So when you do call them, then greet them by their first name if they give their first name, and not Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so, just to put yourself on the same level and not they up here and you're down there, and ask, may I speak to so-and-so? Of course, if they only give the last name, Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so, then you ask, can I speak to Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so? Only then you can introduce yourself, say your name and the project name. Let's say for this particular class, we use the landmark as example. So you would say, can I speak to Jasmine, please? Yes, speaking. This is Jochen here from the landmark team, because you are on the landmark team if you represent this particular project. And I would also advise you not to use the word sales team, because sales already some people get scared. So landmark team or XYZ team, ABC team, whatever your project is called. And thank them for the interest. So that's the first thing. Let's do warm up a little bit. Then it depends how the conversation is going. Some people are busy, they want to keep it short. Some people are hungry for information. So obviously if they ask something, you need to answer, but keep it simple. If they don't ask for something, then at this point of time, it's not necessary to give them all the details. If they don't ask, don't tell. That's my advice. You can do it later once you meet them in person, then it's a lot easier, especially to also overcome objection. If they say, what kind of tiles are there? Marble tiles and homogeneous tiles. It's not the right time to address these points in the very first call. So keep it simple. Your main objective here is to build up some rapport and to get them to make an appointment with you. Whether it's in a show flat or otherwise, it's really up to you. Depends on the situation. Perhaps sales gallery does make sense because it's a good environment. You can see the real product, but it's not perhaps necessary. So when I do this kind of calls, my main objective is to ask, when are they available to meet me? In a show flat or otherwise, doesn't really matter. But it's not yes or no, it's when or when. Saturday or Sunday, or you prefer weekday or weekend, but both options have to be a yes, where they can agree this one better or that one better. Don't get them to think about yes or no, think yes or yes, just which particular option. Reassure them that because it's a direct available sales, that they don't have to pay commission, because that's also what a lot of customers are afraid of. You can obviously not say you are the developer, because you aren't. What you can say is direct developer sales, because they buy directly from the developer. It's true, right? They don't buy it from you or another person. if you do project sales. If it's resale, obviously that doesn't apply. But if it's project sales, new home sales, yes, a direct developer price, the best price, no commission. So that's reassuring for the client. Then do not give the address of the sales gallery or show flat. A lot of people ask, where's the show flat? Guess what happens if you tell them? They just go by themselves, right? Without you. And then you lose your sale, you lose your commission, and you make some other agent happy. So find some nice politically correct excuse. For example, that it's a little bit difficult to find and can I send you a map later? Most people agree to that. So then later you can follow up with a message, and in that message obviously make sure you put your name, license number, contact details, and then the show flat, address or map all into the same place like an EDM. If they have the show flat, address and map, they also have your contact details and name on the same page. That's important. Even if ever they were to go there themselves at a show flat, they will usually ask who invited you. They show you a picture. They still know it was you. But ideally, do not let them go there themselves. Make an appointment, hold them tightly, make sure they meet you over there. So then just before, let's say one day before the appointment, send them a reminder. Tomorrow at so and so many AM or PM, we are going to meet at the show flat. Looking forward to see you there. And then again, maybe it depends on how far away the sales gallery is in your place, or in other words, how much traveling time they need to get there. So send a reminder again an hour or max 2 hours beforehand to first remind them, but secondly, that this message is sort of right on top of their messages, because they will probably get a lot of message, and if sent too early, then it's just going to drop down the list until it's on top. And usually you would prefer to use the word we instead of I, giving the impression that you are like a team and not a single person, a sole agent, but you have a team behind you for this project. So these are a couple of tips that have helped me and many others to get more sales. So you can obviously use those as well. In the next section, I'm going to show you how, after the initial follow-up, you then can continuously keep following up. Because as I mentioned, clients don't buy the first or second point of contact, but later, so it's also important to keep them warm, keep in touch over time. I'll see you in the next section.